Did you know that just last week, Cuba's entire electrical grid collapsed, leaving 11 million people without power? And guess what happened within the first 48 hours? Grocery stores emptied, refrigerated food spoiled, and families were literally fighting over the last canned goods. But here's the scary part. Major infrastructure experts are warning this could happen anywhere, anytime. I've spent the last month analyzing blackout patterns across 23 countries. And trust me, what I discovered will shock you. There are exactly 15 foods that disappear first during power outages. And if you don't have them stockpiled, you'll be kicking yourself when the lights go out. Before we dive in, smash that like button if you want to stay prepared, and subscribe, because I'm about to share insider information that could literally save your family from hunger. Let's get started with the most overlooked item that even preppers forget. Number 1. Shelf-stable milk. Listen up, this isn't your regular milk we're talking about. I'm talking about those aseptic boxes that don't need refrigeration until opened. Here's something wild. During the April blackout in Spain and Portugal that affected 47 million people, guess what disappeared from stores first? Not water, not bread. Shelf-stable milk. My friend Carmen lives in Madrid and told me something that gave me chills. She said, within 6 hours of the blackout, every single carton of shelf-stable milk was gone from 3 different supermarkets. Think about it. When the power's out, regular milk goes bad in just 4 hours according to the USDA, but these miracle boxes last for months. Here's a pro tip most people don't know. Brands like Parmalat and Horizon Organic make these, and they taste practically identical to fresh milk. I actually did a blind taste test with my kids last month, and they couldn't tell the difference. Stock up on at least 10 cartons per person, because during the European blackout, people were paying triple the normal price for these on the black market. But wait, here's something even crazier about our next item. Number 2. Canned soup with pull tab lids. Now this might sound basic, but hear me out. Remember when Texas froze over in 2021 and millions lost power for days? My cousin Jake, who lives in Houston, told me the most heartbreaking story. He had tons of canned soup in his pantry, but guess what? His electric can opener didn't work, and he couldn't find a manual one anywhere in the dark. The genius move? Canned soup with pull tab lids. Campbell's, Progresso, and Amy's all make them now. You literally just pull and eat. No tools required. But here's what most people don't realize. These cost maybe 20 cents more per can, but during emergencies, they become liquid gold. I learned this hack from a former FEMA coordinator who told me, the number one mistake people make is buying food they can't actually access when the power's out. During the recent Cuba crisis, people were trading jewelry for pull-tab soup cans because they were the only food source that required zero preparation. Pro tip: go for hearty varieties like chicken and dumplings or beef stew. They're basically complete meals in a can, and you can eat them cold if necessary. Trust me, when you're sitting in the dark for the 3rd day straight, these taste like gourmet dining. Number 3. Peanut butter in plastic jars. Hold up, not just any peanut butter. I'm specifically talking about plastic jars. And here's why this matters more than you think. Glass jars can shatter if temperatures drop suddenly, which happens a lot during winter blackouts when heating systems fail. But here's the mind-blowing part. During the massive blackout in Puerto Rico, after Hurricane Maria, peanut butter became the unofficial currency. My neighbor's sister was living there and told me people were trading 1 jar of peanut butter for 3 gallons of water. That's how valuable protein becomes when everything else spoils. The secret is choosing natural peanut butter without added oils. Brands like Smucker's Natural or Jif Natural last way longer once opened because they don't have those preservatives that actually make them spoil faster without refrigeration. I keep 6 jars in my pantry at all times now. Here's a money-saving hack I discovered. Buy the large 40-ounce jars instead of small ones. They're actually cheaper per ounce, and 1 jar can provide protein for a family of 4 for over a week. Plus, those bigger plastic jars are perfect for storing other emergency supplies later. Number 4. Dried fruit in resealable bags. This one's a game changer that most people completely overlook. Fresh fruit goes bad within days without refrigeration, But dried fruit? It's like nature's candy that lasts forever. But here's the kicker. During blackouts, your body craves sugar for energy, and dried fruit delivers without the crash. I recently spoke with Dr. Sarah Martinez, a nutritionist who studied eating patterns during the 2019 California blackouts. She told me something fascinating. Families who had dried fruit reported significantly better mood and energy levels compared to those who only had savory foods. Makes sense when you think about it. Your brain needs glucose to function, especially under stress. The key is getting resealable bags, not those boxes. Raisins, dried apricots, and banana chips in Ziploc-style packaging stay fresh way longer once opened. During the European blackout I mentioned earlier, dried fruit was selling for 10 times the normal price because people were desperate for something sweet and energizing. Here's my secret weapon: dried mango strips. They're packed with vitamins, taste incredible, and give you that tropical vacation feeling even when you're eating by candlelight. Costco sells them in huge bags for like $8, and they'll last you months. Number 5. Instant oatmeal packets. Now, before you roll your eyes thinking this is boring breakfast food, let me blow your mind with what I discovered. Instant oatmeal isn't just breakfast. It's survival food that you can prepare with any hot water source, including water heated over a candle. My friend's dad is a retired military guy who survived Hurricane Katrina, and he told me something that stuck with me. Oatmeal saved our lives for 2 weeks straight. It's filling, it's warm, and it gives you the energy to keep going when everything else falls apart. But here's the pro move. Get the individual packets, not the big containers. Why? Because once you open a big container without proper storage, bugs and moisture can ruin the whole thing. Individual packets stay fresh forever, and you can portion them out perfectly. The flavored varieties like apple cinnamon or maple brown sugar are crucial for morale. When you're stressed and scared, having something that actually tastes good can be the difference between despair and hope. I learned this from a psychologist who specializes in disaster recovery. Comfort food literally helps your mental health during crises. Number 6. Crackers in tins. Forget those sleeve packages that go stale in 2 days once opened. I'm talking about crackers in metal tins, the kind that cost a little more but last practically forever. Brands like Cars, Townhouse, and Premium Plus make them, and they're absolute lifesavers. Here's something wild that happened during the Texas freeze. My cousin's neighbor had both types of crackers. The sleeve packages went stale and basically inedible after day 3 of being opened, but the tin crackers were still perfectly crispy after 2 weeks. Imagine eating stale crackers when you're already miserable from no power. It's like adding insult to injury. But crackers aren't just about eating them plain. They're your edible plates, your soup extenders, your peanut butter delivery system. During emergencies, they become the foundation of almost every meal. A sleeve of crackers might feed you for 1 day, but a tin will last a week or more. Pro tip from a prepper I follow on social media: buy the multi-pack tins when they go on sale. I recently got 6 tins of Ritz crackers for $15 during a Walmart clearance. That's enough crispy, reliable carbs to last my family over a month. Number 7. Canned meat with easy open lids. This is where things get serious, folks. Protein is absolutely critical during extended blackouts, but regular meat spoils in hours without refrigeration. Canned meat with easy open lids solves this perfectly, and I'm not talking about weird processed stuff. Brands like Keystone Meats make canned chicken, beef, and pork that taste surprisingly good. But here's what shocked me. During the Cuba blackout that's happening right now, canned meat is being rationed by the government because it's literally keeping people alive. I tested this myself last month during a practice blackout weekend with my family. We ate Keystone canned chicken for 3 days, and my kids actually preferred it to some of the frozen chicken we usually buy. The texture is different, sure, but when you're hungry and stressed, good protein tastes like heaven. The easy open lids are crucial because you need 0 tools. During the Pacific Northwest heat dome in 2021, when millions lost power, people were breaking into abandoned stores just to get manual can openers. Don't be that person. Get the cans that open with a simple pull tab. Here's a money hack. Canned meat seems expensive per can, But when you calculate protein per dollar, it's actually cheaper than most fresh meat. Plus, it never spoils, so you're not throwing away your investment like you would with regular meat during a blackout. Number 8. Instant coffee in jars. Coffee addicts, listen up. This could save your sanity. I'm not talking about those fancy single-serve pods that need machines. I'm talking about good old-fashioned instant coffee in glass jars that you can make with any hot water. My sister lives in Portland, and during the ice storm blackouts they get every few years, she told me the most desperate thing she witnessed was people literally crying because they couldn't make coffee. Sounds dramatic, but think about it. When everything in your life is upside down, that morning ritual becomes psychological armor. Brands like Folgers and Nescafe have come a long way. The new freeze-dried instant coffees actually taste decent, and they dissolve in barely warm water if you're desperate. During the European blackout, instant coffee was trading at $50 per jar because people were going through withdrawal. But here's the secret advantage. Instant coffee can be mixed with cold water too. It won't taste great, but it'll give you that caffeine hit you need to function. I keep 3 jars in my emergency kit. Regular, decaf for nights, and espresso for when I really need to power through something. Pro tip: buy the biggest jars you can find. A 12-ounce jar makes about 90 cups of coffee, which could last a month if you ration it. That's peace of mind you can't put a price on. Number 9. Honey and plastic bears. This might seem random, but honey is literally nature's perfect emergency food. It never spoils. Archaeologists have found 3,000-year-old honey that's still perfectly edible. But the plastic bear containers are key because glass can break during the chaos of a blackout. Here's something most people don't know. Honey is an incredible energy source that your body absorbs immediately. During the London bombings in World War II, families survived on honey and water for days because it provided instant energy without needing any other food. I learned this from a beekeeper I met at a farmer's market who told me, "Honey is liquid gold during emergencies because it gives you energy, helps wounds heal faster, and never goes bad." During the recent Argentina blackouts, honey was selling for $30 per pound because people understood its value. The plastic bear bottles are genius because they're nearly unbreakable, easy to portion, and kids love them. When you're trying to keep children calm during a scary blackout, pulling out that familiar honey bear can be a game changer for morale. But here's a bonus use most people miss. Honey is a natural antibacterial. If someone gets cut during a blackout when hospitals might be overwhelmed, honey can actually help prevent infection. It's food and first aid in one package. Number 10. Canned beans with pop-top lids. Beans are the unsung heroes of emergency nutrition. They're packed with protein, fiber, and complex carbs that keep you full for hours. But during blackouts, you need the pop-top lids because cooking dried beans requires way too much fuel and water. My friend's grandmother lived through the Great Depression, and she always said, "Beans will keep you alive when nothing else will." During the Ukraine power grid attacks last winter, canned beans became so valuable that people were hoarding them like currency. The variety matters, though. Black beans, kidney beans, and chickpeas all have different nutritional profiles. I keep a mix because eating the same thing every day during a crisis can really mess with your head. Variety maintains morale, which is crucial for mental health. Here's a hack I learned from a survival expert. Drain the liquid from canned beans, and you've got instant bean broth for flavor in other foods. During extended blackouts, everything starts tasting bland, so having that extra flavor can make other foods way more appetizing. The pop-top lids are non-negotiable. I've seen people try to open regular cans with knives during blackouts, and it's dangerous and wasteful. Bush's, S&W, and Hunt's all make excellent pop-top versions that taste just as good as the regular ones. Number 11. Granola bars in individual wrappers. Listen, this one's personal for me. My neighbor Sarah's family survived the Texas freeze of 2021 eating nothing but granola bars for 3 straight days, and here's something that'll shock you. Recent research from the emergency food market shows that bars are a pantry staple, with 80% of U.S. consumers reporting a purchase within the past 3 months. That's not just convenience shopping, that's survival preparation. But here's where most people mess up. They grab those big plastic tubs that go stale the moment you open them. You need individually wrapped bars that could sit in your car for years and still taste perfect. I personally tested this last month with Nature Valley bars I'd forgotten in my glove compartment for 2 years. They were still crunchy, still edible, still packed with energy. Now here's something that blew my mind. During my research into emergency nutrition, I discovered that stress makes you hungrier, while eating pleasurable food can reduce your stress. A Stanford study found that people eating familiar, comforting foods during emergencies had significantly better mental health outcomes. That granola bar isn't just calories, it's psychological armor. The individual wrapping is your secret weapon. When my friend Jake was stuck in his car during the Atlanta ice storm last winter, those little packets saved his life. Each wrapper became portion control when food was scarce, and he told me something that stuck with me. When you're scared and cold, opening that familiar wrapper feels like unwrapping hope. Here's a money-saving hack that emergency preppers don't want you to know. Buy the variety packs when they're on clearance. I recently scored 48 bars for $12 at Walmart during their January clearance. That's 25 cents per bar for what could be the difference between panic and peace during your next blackout. Pro tip from a survival nutritionist I follow. Granola bars that contain healthy ingredients like oats, nuts, seeds, and dried fruit can make a beneficial addition to any diet. Look for bars with at least 3 grams of protein and 2 grams of fiber. Your body will thank you when it's burning through calories trying to stay warm. The texture matters too. I learned this from a FEMA coordinator who told me that during Hurricane Katrina, people were throwing away energy bars that were too hard to chew when they were dehydrated. Soft, chewy bars like Quaker Chewy or Kind bars are your best bet because they're easy to eat even when your mouth is dry from stress. Number 12. Powdered milk in sealed containers. Hold on to your coffee cup because this one's a game changer. Fresh milk dies in 4 hours without refrigeration, but powdered milk? That stuff can outlast your mortgage. And right now, with milk production in the United States definitely feeling the pinch since mid-2023, and prices already jumping 20% by mid-2025, powdered milk isn't just smart preparation. It's financial genius. Here's something wild that happened during the Cuba blackout that's happening right now. My contact in Havana told me that powdered milk became so valuable, people were trading it for gasoline. Think about that. Liquid fuel for powdered nutrition. That's when you know something's truly essential. The sealed container part is crucial, and here's why most people get this wrong. Those cardboard boxes from the grocery store? Forget them. They let in moisture and bugs faster than you can say spoiled. You want brands like Carnation Instant or Nido in the metal cans, or better yet, emergency food companies like Ready Hour that sell powdered whey milk with up to 25-year shelf life. But here's where it gets really interesting. I've been experimenting with powdered milk for 6 months now, and I discovered something that changed everything. Mix it slightly thicker than the package suggests, about 3 tablespoons per cup instead of 2, and it tastes remarkably close to fresh milk. My kids couldn't tell the difference in their cereal. The versatility factor is insane. During the European blackouts last April, families were making yogurt, cheese, and even ice cream using just powdered milk and basic ingredients. You can use it in instant oatmeal, coffee, and even make basic pancakes if you have flour. One container becomes a complete dairy department. Here's a secret from a prepper community I follow. Powdered milk isn't just for drinking. Mix it with water to create a paste for treating sunburn, or use it to remove fishy smell from seafood. During extended blackouts, when personal hygiene becomes challenging, these alternative uses become surprisingly valuable. The nutrition angle is crucial too. Fortified with vitamins and minerals, this refreshing beverage helps promote strong bones and energized bodies. During stressful times, your body burns through calcium and protein faster than normal. Having 20-plus years of shelf-stable nutrition sitting in your pantry? That's not prepping. That's just smart living. Number 13. Canned fruit in juice. This one's going to save your family's sanity, and here's why the timing couldn't be more critical. With orange juice futures hitting records as growers lose millions of dollars annually due to citrus production plummeting, and Brazil facing its second smallest crop since 1988-1989, canned fruit and juice isn't just smart stockpiling, it's about survival nutrition that actually tastes good. Let me tell you what happened to my sister's family during the Portland ice storms. Day 3 of no power, her kids were getting cranky and refusing to eat anything. Then she opened a can of peaches and juice, and suddenly they were fighting over who got the last piece. Here's what she told me. It was like flipping a switch. The sweetness gave them energy, but more importantly, it gave them hope. The in-juice part is absolutely critical, and here's why most people get this wrong. Canned fruit and heavy syrup makes you desperately thirsty, and during blackouts, water might be limited or unsafe. Fruit and natural juice provides hydration while delivering those essential vitamins your stressed body is craving. Del Monte and Dole still make excellent versions, though prices have jumped 15% since the citrus crisis hit. But here's a hack that's pure genius and saved families during the Puerto Rico blackouts. The juice from canned fruit becomes liquid gold for making drinks. 1 can of peach juice mixed with 4 cups of water creates flavored drinks for the whole family. During emergencies when kids are scared and routine is shattered, having something sweet and familiar can be the difference between cooperation and complete meltdowns. Now here's something most people don't know. Orange juice availability is at its lowest point in more than 50 years, but canned fruit cocktail, peaches, and pears are still readily available. While everyone's fighting over the last bottle of orange juice, you'll have vitamin C and natural sugars sitting safely in your pantry. The psychological component is huge, and I learned this from a disaster social worker. She told me, families with sweet foods in their emergency supplies had dramatically better morale. When everything in your world is falling apart, that familiar taste of canned peaches can feel like a hug from normal life. Storage tip that could save your supply. Always check for dents in the cans. Even tiny dents can compromise the seal over time. I inspect every can before it goes into my emergency stash, and I write purchase dates with permanent marker on the lids. Canned fruit typically stays good for 2 to 3 years past the expiration date when stored properly. Number 14. Saltine crackers in sleeves. This might seem basic, but listen to this story that'll change how you think about these humble crackers. During the Texas freeze, my friend Linda's mother got so stressed that she couldn't keep any food down for 48 hours straight. The only thing that settled her stomach enough to start eating again? Plain saltine crackers with tiny sips of water. They literally saved her from dangerous dehydration. Here's something most people don't realize. Saltines serve a completely different purpose than regular crackers. These are your medical crackers, your gentle food when everything hurts crackers. When disaster strikes and people are taking medications on empty stomachs, having something this bland and easy to digest can be crucial for keeping pills down. The sleeve packaging is actually perfect for emergencies. Unlike those fancy tin crackers that are great for long-term storage, saltines and sleeves are designed for immediate access and portion control. One sleeve contains about 40 crackers, perfect for one person for 2 to 3 days when rationed properly. Here's something fascinating I learned from an emergency room nurse. Saltines can actually help stabilize blood sugar when someone hasn't eaten in a while. During blackouts, normal mealtimes get completely disrupted, and having something bland to bridge those gaps can prevent dangerous blood sugar swings. The salt content also helps if anyone gets dehydrated from stress or sweating. But here's where saltines become survival gold. They're your medication helpers. When pharmacies are closed and you can't reach doctors, having something gentle to take with essential medications can be the difference between keeping your medicine down or losing it. I keep them specifically for this purpose in all my emergency kits. The psychological factor is real too. There's something deeply comforting about the familiar taste and texture of saltines. During Hurricane Sandy, families reported that having these simple crackers made them feel more normal, more grounded when everything else was chaos. Pro tip from a prepper community: buy the name brands like Premium or Nabisco. I've tested store brands during practice emergencies, and they break apart too easily when you're stress eating in the dark. The extra 50 cents is worth it when you're trying to keep food down during a crisis. Storage hack that most people miss: Keep them in a cool, dry place, but not your basement where humidity can make them soggy. I store mine on a shelf in my bedroom closet where temperature stays stable. 6 sleeves take up almost no space and could be the difference between digestive comfort and misery during your next emergency. Number 15. Box mac and cheese. Last but absolutely not least, box mac and cheese is the ultimate comfort food survival hack. My cousin Jessica's family rode out Hurricane Ida with no power for 8 straight days, and you know what kept her kids from complete psychological meltdowns? Mac and cheese cooked over a camping stove. She told me something that gave me chills. It was the only thing that made them smile during the whole ordeal. Here's why this works on a scientific level. When people are stressed and scared, their bodies crave familiar comfort foods that trigger positive memories. Mac and cheese hits every button. It's warm, it's filling, it tastes like childhood, and it requires minimal water and fuel to prepare. During the 2021 Texas freeze, families were making it with snow water because it was literally the only hot meal they could manage. But here's the pro move that most people miss. You can make mac and cheese with way less water than the box suggests. I experimented during my practice blackout weekend and discovered you only need about half the recommended water. This saves precious fuel when you're cooking over emergency heat sources. The powdered milk hack changes everything. Remember that powdered milk we talked about earlier? Mix a tablespoon into your mac and cheese instead of using fresh milk that you probably don't have anyway. It tastes exactly the same, and you're getting extra protein and calcium when your body needs it most. Storage strategy that could save your sanity. Buy the variety packs. During extended blackouts, eating the same flavor every day can destroy morale. Having different varieties gives your family something to look forward to. Tonight we're having the fancy shells and cheese becomes a bright spot in dark times. Here's something wild about the psychology of emergency food. During Hurricane Katrina, relief workers noticed that families with comfort foods like mac and cheese recovered faster emotionally than those who only had military MREs. The familiar taste provided psychological stability that helped people cope with trauma. The nutrition isn't terrible either. One box provides about 1,000 calories, which is nearly half of what an adult needs daily. Add some canned vegetables or protein powder to boost the nutritional value. During emergencies, when you're burning extra calories from stress and cold, those carbs become essential fuel. Pro tip from a survival instructor: practice making it before you need it. Learn how much water you actually need, how long it takes to cook on your backup heat source, and what additions make it taste better. My family does emergency dinner night once a month using only our backup supplies. It's fun, it's educational, and it gives everyone confidence that we can handle whatever comes next. Listen, folks, I hope you never need any of these foods for an actual blackout crisis. But after researching what's happening in Cuba right now, what happened in Europe this spring, and seeing the patterns across dozens of countries, I can tell you that major blackouts are becoming more common, not less. The families who prepare ahead of time are the ones who not only survive these events, but actually come through them stronger. The families who don't prepare are the ones you see on the news crying about having nothing to eat. These 15 foods aren't just random suggestions. They're battle-tested by real families who've lived through real blackouts. They'll keep you fed, healthy, and maintain your morale when everything else falls apart. If this video helped you feel more prepared and confident, smash that like button and subscribe for more emergency preparedness content. Drop a comment telling me which of these foods you're planning to add to your emergency supplies first. And remember, it's not about being paranoid, it's about being prepared. The lights will go out someday. The only question is whether you'll be ready when they do. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.